The downsides of living in Mexico? Living in Mexico? I'm Bill the Geek, broadcasting not live from Mazatlan, Mexico. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and we make videos about the joys of living in Mexico. Some Americans and Canadians come down to Mexico to live. Some of them do leave. I did some research and found out the top 10 reasons that expats decide to go home. Of the top 10 reasons that I found, I'm going to show you 5. Then I'm going to break away from those 5 and show you the top 5 reasons that Bill the Geek knows that people have left Mexico. Some people say the #1 reason people would leave Mexico is nostalgia. They miss the familiarity of where they used to be, they get homesick, and they just want to return to where they used to be. The #2 reason some people say people leave is they feel isolated because they don't know the language. They feel like they can't communicate and they give up and they just go home. #3 is healthcare concerns. Some people come down here and they only have insurance that works with them in the United States and they have serious illnesses, so they return for that reason. Then there's family and social ties. People get older, all of a sudden they have grandchildren that they've never met. Their brothers and sisters are doing things that they don't understand anymore, and they feel the urge to go home and live with family again. #5 is a big one for some people, and that's economic concerns. They come down here and they think everything's going to be okay. Maybe they got a job down here, they were working online somewhere, and all of a sudden their finances get kicked out from underneath them and they have to go back and reestablish that economic environment. Okay, now we're going to get into the real stuff. The Bill the Geek top 5 reasons people leave Mexico. I talked to a guy from New York City. He was leaving. He said the people are too friendly here. He said, Bill, people are just too friendly. Like, people walk down the street, they smile at you, they wave at you. You go to the grocery store and the people and they're all saying, hello, can I help you? That kind of stuff. I'm from New York City. We don't do all that friendly stuff. You go to a gathering, you got to kiss everybody on the way in, kiss everybody on the way out. People helping you out all the time. I'm from New York City. I can't live like this down here. People are just too friendly. There's too much love here. Bill the Geek reason #2. I met a guy from Texas. He was leaving. He couldn't take it anymore. Why? Because he couldn't have his guns down here. He said, I was at the grocery store, somebody bumped into me. They knew I was standing there. They knew that I was right beside them. They bumped me. If I was in Texas, I would have just shot him. And then I went to get gasoline, and this guy pulled up, and he was playing this loud Mexican music. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. If I was in Texas, I could have pulled out my gun. I just shot him. I shot him in the head. Then, if I was in Texas, one day my neighbor came over, was knocking on my door. I never met my neighbor before. Said he wanted some milk. I didn't know who they were. I didn't know it was my neighbor. If I was in Texas, I would have just shot him. Bam! I ain't living here no more. Can't have no guns. Can't live in Mexico. This shocked me, and I think it's going to shock you. If you're standing up, grab a chair and sit down. #3 reason, Bill the Geek. Now, this one's a little bit more serious than the first 2, but I'm going to say kidnapping. Yes, people do end up disappearing, kidnapping. I don't know if you would call that leaving the country or not, because you really don't know where they went. I've been here for 20 years almost, and I only know one American that has been missing. Now, on a serious note, if you go to Mexico, if you go to Google and search up people missing in Mexico, the Mexican government will tell you there's 100,000 people missing in Mexico. 100,000 people, that's a lot of missing people. But tell you what, I did something surprising 2 days ago. I went to Google and I did a search for missing people in the United States. They say that 600,000 people in the United States come up missing each and every year. 600,000 people a year. In Mexico, they just say 100,000 people are missing. They don't say it happens every year. In the United States, 600,000 people end up missing every year in the US. Number 4 reason for leaving Mexico and going home back to United States is deportation. Yes, little do people know that when you get the 180-day tourist visa, it has a little chip in it, so they can track you. And they have groups of undercover Mexican policemen that are just waiting for your time to expire. Leave a comment. Tell us what you think. If you know someone that would like this video, click the share button. And why not click that like button? Once they get close to knowing that you're expiring, your 180 days is almost up, then they send out a squad that's going to hang out right where you are. The squad has been trained to wait until 3 o'clock in the morning. They knock your door down, come in and grab you. They put a hoodie over your face and chain you up and throw you in a big van. Then they throw you in a big tractor trailer filled with hundreds of other people whose visas have expired also, and they drive you to the border. After being in the tractor trailer for maybe 8 to 20 hours in 120-degree heat, they cross the border and they throw you off into the campsite, into cow doo-doo. Don't get deported like that. Take care of your visa. We go live every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. People join us, they ask questions, they give us advice, they tell us about moving to Mexico. So click the subscribe button, you'll get a notification and you can join us. Reason number 5 that Americans leave the United States is they come down here as a couple. They get down here, and let's say in the United States they weren't taking care of that body so well. They weren't working out. They were eating way too much pizza and ice cream. They get down here and there's all these beautiful Mexico male and female people down here. Mexican people have that beautiful brown, creamy complexion. That complexion is so good, Americans spend billions of dollars a year to get a tan like the Mexicans have naturally. Next thing, one couple's off with some Mexican man. One couple's husband is off with some Mexican woman, and they never get back together again. Next thing you know, somebody's on the plane going back to the United States crying, "Oh, boo-hoo, oh, I hate Mexico." Thank you so much for watching. We have many more videos to come. Click that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.